Hello, Anna. Good morning.
Hi, Cassidy. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I just woke up and I am drinking a huge mug of coffee.
Nice. I was thinking when I was making this lesson, I was thinking it's really early in the morning to be watching horror movies.
But it is better, you know. If it was in the evening, oh my gosh.
It's true. It's true. Um, how was your weekend? Or how is your weekend? Because technically it's still your weekend, right?
Technically, but I just stayed home. I told you that I don't know if I told you that I have a flu.
Oh, right. You still have the flu?
Yes, it's true.
Oh,
But it is okay. A good excuse to stay home, you know.
that's true. It's a good plan.
I
And so, did you just rest all weekend?
I rested, I studied, and I watched movies with popcorn. I love
Yeah.
doing it. You
So
know, stay in my bed and watching movies and eating popcorn and candy. I love it. I I put a high volume on the TV and I'm I close everything and I turn the air condition. I love it.
Ah, that does sound good. Is it how hot is it right now where you are? Because you're more central Brazil, right? Are you central or north?
No, I am southwest.
So you're south. So is it getting cooler or is it still cold? I mean, still hot. Jesus, it's never cold.
Uh, for you, it would be hot, but for me, it's cold
So
because
for
I've
uh-huh.
because I've gotten the hang of hot weather and then when the temperature uh, fell,
Yeah,
just
fall. Actually, we usually say drops when the temperature.
drop. Thank you. When the temperature drops just a bit, in my opinion, it's cold.
So what temperature is it today, for example? That's kind of
I I don't know. I would have to Google it.
so is it like in the 20s or like 30? 30 is pretty high.
No, 20.
Okay, that's not so bad. And in the summer, it probably gets to like 40, right?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, sounds lovely. I can't, well, because I'm living here now and it doesn't really get too cold here. The 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 winter here in Buenos Aires is kind of like the fall in the United States. It never gets cold, cold, cold. So it when I think about moving back to the United States, I think I'm going to suffer a lot because it's going to be so cold, really cold.
Uh, if you were living here in my town, you would never feel it cold.
I know, it sounds lovely. Oh, I didn't tell you. I think I'm going to Brazil in December.
Cool. Where are you going?
I don't know. We haven't decided. I think it's going to be Sao Paulo and maybe Rio because it's my boyfriend is a tattoo artist and there's lot of cool tattoo artists in Brazil.
My husband loves tattoo,
Aha. Yeah,
and
you
and
told me.
he has a lot of friends who who works like your husband.
Really?
Really?
It's a really popular thing in Brazil. It's like a really good what's the word? Like a good scene. There's a good tattoo scene in Brazil.
Yes, and my husband went to a festival just about tattoos, and he has 6 tattoos or 7, I don't know, a
Yeah.
lot. He made one. He got one in his arm,
Uh-huh. The other day?
in his in his entire for sorry,
You poor thing, you're so sick.
yes, teacher, in his entire sorry, in his entire forearm, you know,
Aha, very cool.
schools in flames.
Oh, cool. Do you have any? Do you have any tattoos?
No, cause
Uh-huh.
I fear needles.
Oh, I guess that's a good point. But don't you put needles into people at your work?
Yes, but it's different.
I guess it's only one.
Well, when I have to put a needle in someone else, it's okay, but not on me, you know.
That's true. All right, let's do this. I think it'll be, if it's just you in this class will be very smooth. I have a question for you first about your linguistical experience. What is the most number of students you can have in the class before it becomes difficult to learn? You're right, that's a really hard question. What is the most number of students you can
Uh,
stand?
well, you learn anyway, always. But when you have the opportunity to speak more, you learn better because you can practice your pronunciation. But the linguistical doesn't have a lot of students.
It's true.
The maximum is 5, you know.
Uh-huh.
I have never attended a class with more than 5, and it's great.
It's good. I always find though, I start to lose control of my classes when I have 4 students. If I have 3, I can take it. As soon as I have 4, it becomes really hard because nobody can do anything until I give them direction. So there's really no freedom to speak at all.
Mhm.
So this is something that I think they're trying to work out.
I believe that 5 is the maximum.
Yeah, it is the maximum. Usually the problems I have is when people, is not with the amount of students, it's the students that come who don't understand how to use Google Hangouts, and they're like, the other day I had this student who was answering phone calls in the middle of the class and he didn't go on mute. It was like really confusing and hard to control. He was like on the phone. A little nutty. Okay. So anyway, so hopefully it'll just be you. And I think there was another student who signed up, but he's not here. So this will be fun. So this class will basically handle listening. I want it to be a listening exercise, also reading and vocabulary. And then we're going to do a small grammar point. And we'll practice everything. And since it's just you, you'll get to speak a lot. So first impressions. What kind of horror movies exist? What categories that you know of?
Oh my gosh. What categories? I don't know how to classify them.
So for example, there are, I'll give you one, psychological horror movies.
Okay.
Ones that mess with your brain.
Okay. I have to think a bit. My gosh, teacher. I even didn't know that there were categories. Let me think. Psychological, gothic.
Like ghosts?
No, gothic.
What is that?
Gothic horror.
Like gothic?
Yes, gothic.
Gothic. Okay, good. Gothic.
Yes, exactly. What else? Let me think. Uh, psychological, religious horror.
Oh yeah, so this is one where it's like there's religious or there's usually like ghosts and spirits.
Yes,
Ghosts,
and exorcisms
exactly. Yeah.
and uh, killer,
Yeah, we call those slasher films.
lasher,
Slasher films. They're the movies where everybody's dying because one person is killing them.
and monsters
Yeah, and monster,
movies.
like Monster and Zombies.
Yes, cannibal films.
Good, good. And then,
Um,
go ahead.
ghost films,
Ghost.
zombie films,
Good.
vampires films,
That's a good one.
animated horror films.
Good.
Mm,
Good. I think we got most of them.
and can I say trash horror
What
when
would
it
that?
is
Uh-huh.
when it's not well done?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, when it's like kind of like a cheap movie, like it was cheaply done.
Yes.
Yes, good. And sometimes horror films can be funny, right?
Oh yes, they can.
Yeah, so they have like parody films where
Like everybody in panic.
yes. Yeah. So it's not necessarily scary, it's kind of like a joke,
Hmm.
right? Okay,
Right.
so which kinds of these films do you like or dislike?
Uh, okay. And comedy horror movie is
Good.
great because they are not scary at all. Religious I don't like because I can have nightmares.
They're actually scary. Yeah, the ones about like spirits are super scary for me too.
Oh my gosh, exorcism is very scary for me.
It's scary. We're not going to watch one of those today. Don't worry.
Okay.
Good. And can you give an example of a film that really scared you?
The exorcism of Emily Rose.
The
Emily
Exorcist.
Rose.
Oh, that movie was scary.
Ah yes, it was for me because I read that it is based on real life and I was wondering, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, did it really happen? You know,
Yeah.
and I fear the devil.
Yeah, the movie was scary. Um, Talking about like religious movies, do you think it's scarier in Brazil because Brazil is such a religious country? I feel
Yes,
like, yeah, that's probably an influence.
yes, I agree.
Catholic Church is kind of scary sometimes with those movies. They always have them like using the cross. Scary.
Ah yes.
Do you get scared of slasher films?
Mhm.
The films where
I could,
somebody's killing somebody?
yes, sure. Um, because we know that it happens, you know.
Yeah. Does it happen that often in Brazil? People
Uh,
killing
I guess everywhere in the world.
people? Good. All right, we're gonna do a small listening. I'm gonna not show you the film. I'm just gonna let you listen to it. And you're not gonna understand everything. Number one, because of the quality of listening through my speakers, and number two, because the language is quite difficult. But all I want you to do is try to listen for the feeling you get, and what do you visualize? What do you see with the way the story is spoken, with the music? So I kind of want you to just get the feeling of the film, okay?
Okay, let's try.
Okay, let me get this up. Okay, here we go.
sunlight warming my skin. Idyllic. Until they came without warning, cruel hands dragging me roughly from my dreams to a wheeled box. I was carried past my brothers and sisters, my friends, my family. I cried out for rescue, but my kin remained silent, unmoving, perhaps fearing a similar fate. My home began to fade in the distance, and suddenly everything went dark. When I came to my senses, I saw my abductors had placed me on hard gray earth. I was afraid I had just been left to die. Now I know if I had, I would have been lucky.
Okay. This is a small part of the film. So what kind of feeling did you get from the sounds that you heard, maybe from some of the words you could hear?
Well, it was scary. I could hear, I could hear a shame, and
Good.
people screaming, and he said that out of the blue everything was dark, and he thought he could die. He was died.
Good. You heard a lot. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Let's look now at some of the vocabulary that is in this video. Let me make it a little bigger. So I want you to take a look at this word cloud when it appears. It's all kind of in different directions, I know. But the idea is I want you to look through here and try to find any words that are especially difficult or you don't understand.
Okay. Gruesome.
Oh, that's a good one. Gruesome means bloody or gruesome. Let me write it. Gruesome means bloody, gross.
Okay. Ribbons.
Oh, ribbons. Ribbons, we pronounce it.
Could you repeat?
Yes, ribbons.
Ribbons.
Yes, that's how you pronounce it, like this, ribbons. And this is when, what you tie a present with. You know, when you make a gift, and you put nice paper, and then you tie it with a bow. The bows are made of ribbons.
Okay.
You want to say ribbons? Let's see. Get a good image here.
And fate.
Yes, like this. These are ribbons.
Oh, okay.
So these things are ribbons. Okay. Fate. Fate is destiny.
No, not fate. Fate.
Oh, fade.
Fate with G.
Fade
Not with T. With T, I know.
Fade is when light goes dark. So when the sun goes down, the light fades. It gets darker, 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 darker. So it's when light goes to dark. That's to fade.
Okay. Dragging.
Dragging. Dragging is when you take something across the floor with force. I'm going to show you a picture. So, for example, let's say like dragging. I'm kind of scared of what the result's going to be. Sometimes you look up things in Google search and you does like this. This is dragging. See how he's dragging the person across the floor?
All right, thank you.
This is dragging. Good. Back to the one. Okay, so we have dragging.
In art,
I knew that was one. Innards is your intestines.
your what?
Everything, your intestines. So it's like everything.
Okay.
Intestines and other organs.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you know the word kin?
Which one?
Kin.
Mm, your relatives?
Exactly. Good. All right. Now what I want you to do is we're going to practice the pronunciation of all of these words.
Okay.
So we're going to go through the list and just repeat after me. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So the first one, shock,
Shock,
box,
box,
flame,
flame,
remained,
remained,
distance,
distance,
good, cruel,
cruel,
fade,
fade,
abductors,
abductors,
joke,
joke,
belly,
belly,
torture,
torture,
dizzy,
dizzy,
fearing,
fearing,
carved,
carved,
gruesome,
gruesome,
waved,
waved,
hands,
hands,
daring,
daring,
senses,
senses,
dragging,
dragging,
gift,
gift,
sick,
sick,
captors,
captors,
skin,
skin,
dark,
dark,
similar,
similar,
especially,
especially,
sunlight,
sunlight,
stick,
stick,
stabbing,
stabbing,
incredible,
incredible,
rescue,
rescue,
peaceful,
peaceful,
tearing.
daring.
Yeah. Tearing is like when you take a piece of paper and you rip it, like whoosh, that's tearing.
Oh, I thought it was tearing. And
Like
I, yeah, then,
oh, that's true. Totally. See, this is why pronunciation in English is not so easy. Good. Innards,
inert,
kin,
kin,
burning,
burning,
roughly,
roughly,
placed,
placed,
warning,
warning,
warming,
warming,
pain,
pain,
wheeled,
wield,
skull,
skull,
and peaceful. I didn't do all of them
peaceful.
because the other ones are pretty simple. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to read. Da, 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 da. Oh, I'm going to send you this page. Okay, can you see how I changed my screen? Yes. Okay. I'm going to make it a little bigger. I want to read. This is the actual words of the film, the script, but it's missing the first line. So I want to read this entire thing. Well, you will read it, and then see if we can figure out who is the person talking.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
In the beginning, my life was peaceful. Days spent with my family in the garden, the sunlight warming my skin. Peaceful. Until they came without warning. Cruel hands dragged me roughly from my dreams into a wild box. I was carried past my brothers and sisters and friends, my family. I cried out for rescue, but my kin remained silent and unmoving, perhaps fearing similar fate. My home began to fade in the distance, and suddenly everything went dark. When I came to my senses, I saw that my abductors had placed me on hard grey earth. I was afraid. I had just been left to die. Now I know if I had, I would have been lucky. The pain was incredible. I became dizzy. I felt sick. They had cut a giant hole in my skull and were now tearing,
Good. Tearing.
tearing, and now and were now tearing my innards from my body and throwing them in front of me like ribbons from a gift. Moments later, the knives returned, stabbing me over and over again. What made those people do what they did that day? I don't know. I began to think they were playing some sort of mad game, especially when they put a really big knife inside me and just sort of waved it around. When the cutting was done, I sat in shock, not daring to think that the torture might be at an end, but of course it was not. They lowered a stick of hot fire into my belly, burning, burning flame. My captors had carved a gruesome visage into me, as if this wall, no, if it, sorry, as if it, sorry, as if this was all some kind of sick joke. Who were the sick people, and why had they done this to me? Why? Why? Why?
Good. Good reading. All right, number one, do you have any questions about anything that you read that you maybe had a doubt about?
So.
Okay. Well, can you figure out what this is about? Who is the person giving the story?
I have never seen this movie. Um, but uh, they kidnapped him. They
Uh-huh.
kidnapped him, and they were doing something awful, cutting him, burning, and changed him.
Good, good, good. Okay. We're going to actually watch the film now, and you're going to see what this story is all about. This isn't the whole script. There's a little bit at the bottom that we're not reading right now. But let's go to the YouTube app, and I'm going
Okay.
to bring up the film. Give me a second, it's still loading. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put it on now. What did you think?
Just a pumpkin. I was thinking it was a person, you know.
It's good, right?
Yes, very good. I thought it was a person, you know, in an experience or something like that.
That's
I
why
couldn't
I love
figure
this
out.
lesson. I love this lesson because of that. It's
Yes,
hard to figure out, right? Okay,
right.
so I have a question for you. When he says a wheeled box, what is he actually talking about?
Uh, the the wheelbarrow,
Exactly, good. And when he says, when I came to my senses, I saw that my abductors had played me on hard gray earth.
the children.
Oh, well,
Right?
the
Oh
abductors,
no. Um, could you repeat? Sorry.
yeah, when he says, when I came to my senses, right? So he goes in the car, he wakes up on hard gray earth. What is hard gray earth? This is not what not the word we use.
The place where they put the pumpkin.
Yeah, it's on the cement. He's on cement. He's like the hard gray earth. And when he says, they lowered a stick of hot fire into my belly.
The candle.
Good. And then they carved a gruesome visage into me.
The hole is to make the eyes and the mouth.
Yeah. Do you know what that pumpkin is called in the United States?
No,
We call it a jack-o'-lantern.
could you type it?
Yes. Jack-o'-lantern. That is what they made when you carve a pumpkin with a face.
Nice.
Jack-o'-lantern. And we use it for Halloween. So
Yeah.
can you give me like a summary of the video in your own words?
Okay. The video is talking about Halloween and people making a jack-o'-lantern from the point of view
Good.
of a pumpkin.
Good. And then
Right.
what happens to him? Go ahead. Give me some more details.
There is a personification
Good. Good word.
of the pumpkin, and the narrator is the pumpkin, and they try to convey horror and mysterious, and it has a um, mysterious tone.
Good. That's a good way to put it. Why is this movie funny? What makes it funny?
What makes it funny is that you, uh, in your first impression, you believe it's a horror story or something like that, and then it dawns on you that it is just a joke,
Good.
a
I like
public.
it dawns on you. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
I learned it recently.
It's good. It's a good expression. Good. Okay. So you, as you said, a wheeled box, the wheelbarrow, hardware. Well, it was cement, but it was a doorstep. Good. Good. Okay. I want to take a look at these 5 sentences that were in. Is it 5? Yeah, 5 sentences that we saw in the script. Can you read them for me, please?
Yes. Who were the sick people, and why had they done this to me? My voice is a bit weird, Cassidy.
No, don't worry. Is it echoing?
No, it's because I have a flu.
Oh, don't worry.
When I came to my senses, I saw that my abductors had placed me on hard gray earth. My captors had carved a gruesome visaging to me. They had cut a giant hole in my skull, and were now tearing, thank you, and were now tearing my innards from my body. I was afraid I had just been left to die.
Okay, so what do all of these sentences have in common? Think grammar.
I don't know. I don't know.
Look at it again. Take your time. Don't feel pressure because it's only you here, so don't worry. Look at them all again. They have one grammar structure. All of these have the same grammar structure. Or one grammar point, I should say.
The verb things.
Good. What's the verb tense that's in common? And if you don't know the name, just give me the example.
Oh my gosh. Has done. I'm not sure if I know the name. Is it past participle?
Past perfect. Yeah, with the
Past perfect.
You use the past participle. Good. Okay, so we're going to practice these a little bit. First, I want to ask, why do we use the past why do we use the past perfect?
I don't know.
So let's choose one example. I'm going to choose this one. When I came to my senses, I saw that my abductors had placed me on hard gray earth. So can you give me, what is happening in this sentence?
Well, the pumpkin recovered its consciousness and realized they had done it.
Great. So what action happens first? He wakes up or he's on the cement?
He's on the cement.
Right. So he's on the cement before he wakes up.
Yes.
And so, before he wakes up. Because this is all in the past, right? He's narrating a story that happened. This is basically saying there's a past of the past.
Okay.
And so, we use the present perfect, no, the past perfect. God, see, I'm terrible. There's so many P's. The past perfect to convey this. So, first, they put him on the cement, and then he woke up. So, but because he's conveying it in the past, he has to use the past of the past. Now, it is not usually the best option to use the past perfect in English. You can avoid it. You can avoid it. But it is a grammar structure that exists and one that we use a lot, even though it's not very beautiful and it can be very confusing, even for English speakers. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice a little bit. We're going to practice scary sentences and actions that happened before a past point. So for example, we have before they return, I escape. So we will put it before they returned in the past, I had escaped. Since this structure, I escaped before they returned.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can have some fun with these sentences. You can change. Let's practice, see what we can do. So next one is highlighted. Go ahead.
Okay. When the monster arrived, we had freed
Good.
their prisoners.
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 Good.
Prisoners. Okay.
Good work. Okay, next one. All right, this was a little bit complicated because we have to change. It's in the passive voice, but let's see if you can do it. If not, I'll help.
Okay. Um, after after mm, I after the pol- police arrived, the woman had been stabbed.
Close. You have all the structures correct, just the order. So you actually want to say after the woman had been stabbed. Excellent. The police arrived. Why
Okay.
do we put that one first? Because the woman being stabbed happens first, and the next action is the police arrived.
Okay.
Good. I have a couple more to practice. I had to think of all these examples, so sometimes they're pretty stupid.
Okay. Um, by the time the ghosts were awakened,
Good.
the children had left.
Good. Man, you're amazing at this. These are hard and you're really good.
Thank you.
Nice work.
I am making an effort. You know,
And
it's
you're
not
still
as
pretty good.
it's not as easy as okay. Before the serial killer tied his victim, the woman had shot him.
Perfect. Great.
By the time the sun went down, the zombies had already attacked 3 times.
Excellent. Beautiful. I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
It's really good. Very impressive. Okay. So in this lesson, I'm going to send you this PDF. I'm going to send you this in the chat. I want you to go to this page. This is where I got my lesson from. And if you go, once you get it open, to go to page 6, no, go to page 7 and look at page 7 and 8. These are the pages we're going to work with, 7 and 8.
Okay. I am here.
Okay. So the one that we read together is actually a little bit different than the actual script. So there's the actual script, and then there is the pretend script. So the script that we read, that's just a little bit more simplified. So I want to read the actual script together. And then if you have a doubt with any words, because these have more difficult words, we will go back to the script we read, which have more simplified words. But your vocabulary is pretty strong, so let's see how you do. So go to the page 8, actual transcript, and let's read it.
Okay, should I kick off?
Go ahead.
I am a pumpkin. Hello. In the beginning, my life was idyllic. Days spent with my family in the patch, the sunlight warming my skin, idyllic. Until they came without warning. Cruel hands dragged me roughly from my dreams into a wheeled box. I was carried past my brothers and sisters and friends, my family. I cried out for rescue, but my kin remained silent and unmoving, perhaps fearing similar fate. My home began to fade in distance, and suddenly everything went dark. When I came to my senses, I saw that my abductors had placed me on hard green earth. I was afraid I had just been left to die. Now I know, if I had, I would have been lucky. The pain was incredible. I became dizzy, nauseated. Now I could.
Yes. Nauseated.
Nauseated.
Good.
They had cut a giant hole in my skull and were now tearing my innards from my body and strewing them before me like ribbons from a gift. Moments later, the knives returned, impaling me over and over again. What made those people do what they did that day? I don't know. I begin to think they were playing some sort of magic game, especially when they put a really big knife inside me and just sort of waved it around. When the cutting was done, I sat in shock, not daring to think that the torture might be at an end, but of course it was not. They lowered a stick of hot fire into my belly, burning, burning flame. My captors had carved a gruesome visage into me, as if it was some kind of demented joke. Who were the sick people, and why had they done this to me? Why? 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 A while later, I returned to consciousness and heard someone approaching. A glimmer of hope sprang up inside me. Could this be my liberators? Come to save me from this hell? No, it was a parade of tiny demons who stared at my ruined body. I knew then that the reason I had been hacked and disfigured was merely for the entertainment of these demons. They were even receiving some sort of payment from my captors for coming to see me. They tormented me and mocked me. My humiliation was complete. And now I sit mangled, deformed, waiting for the sweet peace of death to arrive. Freedom.
Good job. Good. There's some difficult words in here that I want you to look at. Oh, I don't know what that is. I tried to copy and paste that. Why? Copy, paste. Okay, no. Impaling.
Impelling.
Demented.
Demented.
Ooh. Mangled
Mangled.
and hacked.
Hacked.
Yes. Do you know any of these words, or can you identify any of these words?
I know demented.
Good. What is demented?
With mental illness.
Good. Yeah. Like crazy or sick in the mind. How about the word impaling? He says, the knives returned, impaling me over and over again.
I'm not sure. Maybe cutting or hurting.
Yeah. Good. It could be not necessarily cutting, but it's when you put something through something with force. So you can impale something with a fork. You can like impale just to put something through something else with force. So he had a knife going through his body with force. Similar to stab. You could actually say it's similar to stab. But stab is always with a knife, and impale can be with anything. The toothbrush. Good. How about the word mangled?
I don't know.
Yes. And now I sit mangled, deformed, waiting for the sweet peace of death.
I don't know mangled.
It's actually quite similar to disfigured.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Good. Good. And then hacked. be like in a computer hacker. Hacked is also cut uncleanly. I guess that's the best way. When you kind of hack something is when it's just kind of like cut, but it's not like a clean cut. It's just cut in different ways. It's very, very disgusting.
Okay.
Hacked. Okay, I want to show you one other hilarious video before we go. That is a short video, I think by the same people. Here it is. It's called The Screaming Eggs.
Should I open the YouTube?
I'm gonna open YouTube. Oh, sorry.
It seems that you also got the flu.
Yeah, but I'm always sneezing. Okay, let's open this. All right, hold on. It's taking a second. Here we go. Hello. So how is that film similar? It's not the same authors, but how is that film similar to the pumpkin film?
And there is a personification of the food.
Good. And how we are torturing them without knowing.
Yes.
They're monsters. Good. Well, good job today, Anna. You're an amazing student. I appreciate your attention.
Yes. You are an amazing teacher.
I don't think I deserve that, but I thank you anyway. I just try to have some fun.
You are awesome.
All right, thank you. If I don't see you this week, if you are going back to work, then I will see you on Monday. All right?
Yes, just on Monday.
Perfect. All right, have a good week then and feel better. Get some rest.
Yes, I will. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.